Hello, this is Mrs. McGillicuddy. I will be going over your assignments for Friday. All right, for ELAR, let me go down to that. Remember, you have your group times. Like I said, if there are not 15 students there, then you're by all means you can stay during that group time or extended time, and also during extra support 10:10 to 10:30. You are welcome to stay. All right, so for math, you are working on classifying shapes, science, weather, and climate, and reading, you're working on poetry. Your I can statement, I can analyze and explain the use of sound devices and figurative language in poems. Now you have your 4 launch questions and vocabulary words that we have gone through on Monday, but please make sure you guys read that. You will have to know what these vocabulary words mean and their definitions. All right, we have our figurative language, anchor chart, elements of poetry, and types of poetry. You guys can read that. I know I went over it on Monday. We have elements of poetry, what a line break is, stanza, rhythm and rhyme, and repetition. Yeah, so vocabulary words, imagery, alliteration, onomatopoeia. We also have an anchor chart on our types of poetry. That poetry can be written in many different forms. When you know about the different types of poetry, you can enjoy reading and writing poetry. And as we continue to learn about the different types of poems and working with them throughout the rest of the year. So you have narrative, free verse, limerick, haiku, jinquan, acrostic, humorous, bio poem, concrete, earth shake poem, ode, ballad, and diamante. All right. Don't forget you have your bell ringer for Friday to complete. You also have poetry test. It is a poem and 5 questions. Remember to use your accessibility for to have the iPad read you the test for oral administration. Okay, you have a vocabulary must do. So you have poetry, that's your vocabulary assignment that needs to be completed as well. Then you have your spelling test, that is today, Friday. I'm going to go ahead and go over that first and then go to the poetry assignment. All right, so your spelling test, once you click on that, that'll take you to directions, materials. You need a paper, pencil, or you can text entry. Find a quiet place to take the test. You have level 2 and level 1 first. You can click play, then you can pause at any time. Then you have your level 3 test. So play and then pause at any time. Then you may take a snapshot, like I said, and submit your work, your spelling test. Now let's go back to home. Alrighty. When you go to home, you're going to click also on your test. Remember, all assignments should be done the day they are due and by 11:59. Okay, once you go to your test, you will have the poem, and then you will scroll down and you'll have a question, and then you have multiple choice answers. Let me go ahead and read the poem. All right. Read the selection and choose the best answer to each question. Then fill in the answer on your answer document. Obviously, we don't have an answer document. You're just going to click on the correct letter. answer choice. Here I left a little room there for your author's purpose. What is the author's purpose of this poem? All right, so you have an image. Sure you notice that and annotate the image and what you see, you're visualizing. All right, so this poem the title is Away by Sally Staton. Fishing poles, rafts, rainy day games pack up and hit the highway just when you start to get bickery and bored. Stores and factories dissolve into cows and cornflowers. Cars grow outnumbered by trees. Cross the state line. You can't see it except the color of the sky changes. The dog pokes its nose out the window. Smell that vacational land air for one whole week. Yours to breathe. All right, you have 20 lines. Don't forget a number and annotate your lines and your notes on the side. All right, so you have question number 1. How does the description in line 7 through 12 affect the reader's understanding of the setting? A, it shows that the speaker is going to visit a relative. B, it shows that the speaker is driving through a familiar area. C, it shows that the speaker is traveling out of the city. D, it shows that the speaker is tired of looking out the window. Number 2, lines 1 through 4 reveal that the speaker, F, has planned for a variety of activities. G, prefers to participate in indoor activities. H, thinks that rain will ruin the trip. J, is unable to bring along all that is needed for the trip. You have 3. The poet includes the punctuation at the end of line 13, most likely to emphasize A, an important moment during the trip. B, that there was an unexpected delay in the trip. C, where the speaker stopped to rest during the trip. And D, that the speaker has a new travel plan for the trip. Number 4, what is the main message of the poem? F, traveling with others can be difficult. G, observing activities can be more rewarding than participating in them. H, experiencing a different environment can be refreshing. J, preparing carefully for new experiences is important. And 5, read the dictionary entry. Dissolve. 1, to melt into a liquid. 2, to undo or break apart. 3, to fade away. 4, to be overcome with emotion. Which definition of the word dissolve is used in line 8? A, definition 1, B, definition 2, C, definition 3, D, definition 4. And that is the end of your test. Remember to use SNOTs. Remember the author's purpose, your PIE, P-I-E. Okay, that's the end of this session, the test. Make sure you answer all the questions. So you have to go through all the way to number 5. And then submit your quiz. All right, good luck. Make sure you read it carefully at least 3 times. All right, let's go ahead and go to social studies. For social studies, you have a article. It's on the Underground Railroad, and a vocabulary word that we need to know is abolitionists, people who work to bring an end to slavery. So they wanted to abolish slavery. All right, you're going to click on your assignment. Then you're going to read the article and answer the questions. There are only 4 questions. Make sure you answer in complete sentence. Let me go ahead and read the Underground Railroad. The Underground Railroad was a secret network of hidden passages and safe houses to help enslaved people travel north in search of freedom and a better life. Underground meant that enslaved people were secretly transported and hidden. Guides called conductors along the path risked their lives to help enslaved people escape and start a new life. People who thought slavery was wrong would let escaped enslaved people rest in their homes. Along the way, these homes were called stations, like train stations. Abolitionists were people who wanted to help enslaved people from the South escape slavery. The first abolitionists were Quakers who believed that all humans should be treated equally. They believed that no person should be owned by another person. They encouraged many people to help enslaved people escape by allowing them into their homes to hide, eat, and sleep as they traveled along their way. The journey to freedom was long, sometimes more than 1,000 miles. The path was very dangerous, taking them across rivers and swamps, over mountains, and through thick forests and brush. Harriet Tubman was a conductor along the Underground Railroad. She was once a slave but escaped to the northern states. Many people in the South wanted her to be caught, and they even put out a reward for her arrest. Most traveled at night by foot and used the North Star to guide them. They continued on with little food and in constant fear of being caught. Most escape routes led to the northern United States and Canada. Slavery was illegal in Canada. Some enslaved people found other routes to Mexico. Many enslaved people were afraid to even try to escape because they knew if they were captured, they would be beaten, shot, or hung. People that between the years of 1830 and 1865, more than 30,000 enslaved people were able to escape using the Underground Railroad. Why do you think it was called the Underground Railroad? The Underground Railroad. What was the Underground Railroad? What was an abolitionist? Describe the journey many enslaved people took to gain their freedom. At what time of day did they travel on the Underground Railroad? How did they find their way? Okay, so you're going to answer those 5 questions, and then submit your work. And those are your assignments. If you have any questions, please come to your Zoom meetings.